all to get it on. The words are, of course, Marc Bolan's, and next month it will be 15 years since a tragic accident ended his career. Before that, he wowed a generation of fans with his brand of glam rock. Now there's a book and video about him, and soon a new album of previously unreleased songs. Chris Pearson reports.
I went into it blind, and I still go into blind now. You know what I mean? No, I wouldn't change my life for 1 second. Not one ounce of it, you know. It was great. What can I say? It was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I think that Marc was vastly underrated. He wasn't a technical guitarist, I don't think, in any way, shape or form. But what he did have was he had a way of making a guitar sound.
In 1970, Marc Bolan formed the now legendary T-Rex. His new lineup played what was called glam rock. It was all a far cry from his earlier days as folk singer Toby Tyler. T-Rex had the right formula. In just 5 years, they were to achieve cult status, and many of their songs would become classics. Mickey Finn was the band's drummer and Marc's right-hand man. He remembers those years with affection. In a few months, they'd shot from support artists to rock stardom.
I was young and adventurous and going for everything, and I thought, why not? And it felt good. He was keen and we got on well. And it all took off, and I was just going on for the ride, but I never realised it was going to get as big as it got.
Well, you can bump and grind, it's good for your mind. Well, you can twist and shout, let it all hang out.
It wasn't just a good sound that made T-Rex different. Marc's stage performance and their bisexual image was seen by many at the time as outrageous. They drew in a whole generation of new fans.
Marc, see, he never really got off stage. That's what you've got to realise about Marc. He was always on stage. Even when he was making a cup of coffee, or when he was at home, when he was doing something really mundane, or whatever the situation, when he was combing hair, he was always performing. You know, that's why he was such a master. You see, it was his continuous thing. He didn't put on the clown's makeup and go out and do it. He always had it on. He was always performing. You know, that's the essence of his, well, for me, that's the essence of his success.
Two fans to fall under the spell were Shan and John Bramley. Bolan's music, they claim, changed their lives. For many years, they ran the official fan club. Now, as a tribute to Marc, they've written a book, The Legendary Years, detailing T-Rex's history from a fan's point of view.
The attraction to Marc Bolan really was that he was totally different to anything else. I think you have to remember that at the beginning of the 70s, we were, as youngsters, really under parental influences of people like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and Herman's Hermits and all that. And really it was a little bit boring. You know, I mean, there wasn't really a genuine excitement. You went to concerts, you sat down, you clapped, you know. But when Marc came along, he brought a showmanship. He knocked a few things to one side and said, I'm going to enjoy myself, you know, rock and roll is for the kids. And that was appealing to me.
The atmosphere at a T-Rex concert was electric. It had shades of Beatlemania, but with an added factor. In the 70s, stars were thought of as public property, and many of the fans wanted their own bit.
It got dangerous when you started seeing little girls appearing in the audience who didn't just want to see Marc, they wanted a piece of him, and it didn't matter whether they climbed over you to get to him.
And when we had to do gigs and come straight off stage and jump black in the back of a police van and taken to a straight hotel, that's when I realised it was getting crazy, you know, and coming out and things. So we tried it coming out and going to cars and people attacking you with scissors trying to get clips and all that craziness. That's when it had to change, you know, that was when we needed protection.
This incredible story about being in a limo with Mark and just hearing this incredible thunder and noise. And it was just girls jumping, they were like throwing like lemmings, throwing themselves onto the car.
As a result of the crowds, many tour dates in Britain were called off. The band went to America to try their luck.
I just think we were magical at the time, we were meant to be together. I mean, I used to look at Mark on stage, and when you get a good understanding with something, you don't even need to talk sometimes. You can give them a look and they know exactly what you're thinking. And we used to giggle all the time. And that's the best part of being good friends. We can give each other a look and you know exactly where it's coming from.
Strange, life is strange, life is strange.
His whole life was into making music. I mean, he always wanted to be a rock and star from the age of 9. I mean, and the early pictures in, you know, like Eddie Cock and all those sort of things that he's into, was based on being success. I mean, if anybody, you know, is looking to make it, they should take a leaf out of Mark's book, because he wanted to be a rock and star and he dedicated himself and he made it.
Just a few days before Mark's 30th birthday, there was a tragic accident. He died instantly when the car he was in hit a tree early one morning. The place is still hallowed.
And I got that call at 6 o'clock in the morning, and my brother called me, Chris, and he said, "Hey, you better sit down." I said, "What's up?" He said, "Mark's dead." I said, "Oh no, it's really bad. Don't joke." I mean, I just couldn't believe that something with so much energy and enthusiasm and music ability could just die. I mean, his life could be taken. I mean, to be honest with you, and I say this on film as it is, I went to peace with for a long time. I mean, I find it very hard to cope with the fact that Mark died, and I still don't like it.
That's nice as well. We can use all that.
At the moment, Shan and John are planning a video to go with their book. That's as well as running Mark on Wax, T-Rex's record company. In the autumn, they also plan to release a new album of previously unheard songs.
He was prolific. He was absolutely amazing when it came. I mean, he could sit in the room with just a Reeboks machine and he'd turn the tape on and he'd come up with a load of different songs. And that's what we keep finding.
For many T-Rex fans, though, the band will be remembered with nostalgia when they had the time of their lives. Whether by design or accident, Marc Bolan became a hero of the teeny bop culture. 15 years on, and those same fans are bringing up a new generation to admire him. His music will live on.
My sort of singer. The magic of Marc Bolan. That's where we'll take another break.